A very good morning to John Barnes. Barnesy, morning, mate. How are you?
Morning, John.
I'm good, mate. Andy, how you doing?
We're
nice
good,
to
pal.
see you.
Great to
Nice
see
to
you,
see you
mate.
both. But every time I mention that I said the legend John Barnes, they play the England song. Everyone thinks I'm a rapper. No one knows I play football.
I hear you, but we certainly do, mate. And that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with England, Barnesy. In terms of these, when I ask you about these, the games, obviously the game against Uruguay and the game tonight against Japan, I called them kind of necessary evils. I think that, you've got to have games for the build-up for the World Cup, but there is an element of perhaps 19-20 of his squad knowing that they'll be going to the World Cup and they want to avoid injury. How did you find them?
Well, of course, yeah, you have that element of it in terms of people wanting to avoid injuries. But I think that you also, why I say they're necessary is because you really know what the England team, maybe not the squad, but you know what the England team should be. And of course, everyone has an opinion as the season goes on. Is why is he not playing? Why is he not playing? And then when you see that, the team that a lot of people want to play are the players that want to be included in the two games, you think, well, we know who should be playing, we know where they should be playing, and we kind of know what the squad's going to be type of thing. So it's not to rule people out. But, fans get excited about players who may do well and then feel he should be in the England team, he should be in the England team. But we really know who should be in the England team.
What do you think, John, when you look at the makeup of this particular squad? What do you think about genuine England's chances this summer? I've concerns about, not as individuals, the defenders, but as a whole, that area I'm not totally convinced by. What about you?
Well, on the Gareth's tenure, we came close twice, and I think we were probably better equipped to maybe win it. But with this squad, with Thomas Tuchel, I'm sure that we will maximise our potential and we'll do well. Which means that in the way that the seeds and the groups are staged, we really should go through and get to the quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals, even, and possibly win it. But I think obviously our best chances in the last two tournaments, and we also were lucky in the teams that we actually played. But I feel that, it's going to be difficult for us to win it, more difficult for us to win it this time than it has been in the past. But I still feel they do well. I still feel they'll get to the latter stages, maybe even get to a semi-final or a final, and maybe even win it. But for us to expect to win it just because we're England, for me, is unrealistic.
Barnesy, what differences do you see? I mean, I think Gareth did a phenomenal job. I really do. And was very, very unlucky and took the squad as close as they've been. What differences do you see in Thomas Tuchel and Gareth? And what difference will Thomas Tuchel have to make to get him to make that final jump, if you like?
Well, the difference is obviously Gareth massaged players' egos and allowed them to perform, and all the focus was on the players playing, not necessarily Gareth doing tactics and Gareth being vociferous on the sideline and Gareth making hard decisions in terms of substitutions. He allowed the players to play, whereas Thomas Tuchel's different. Thomas Tuchel is all about him being the manager, which I believe should be the right way.
Yeah.
However, do English players respond to that? We don't know. So Thomas Tuchel will make hard decisions as to who he's going to leave out, who he's going to substitute, who he's going to shout at. And unfortunately, English players don't respond to that. So it'll be interesting to see how they fare.
Yeah. One player, John, that seemingly is on everyone's list with a bit of a question mark next to him is, bizarrely, is Phil Foden for England. Where do you stand on that one? And how much do you think he is under pressure for his spot?
Well, I don't think he's under pressure for his spot in the squad.
Right.
But in terms of the team, the problem you have is that, of course, you have Cole Palmer as well, and you have, Morgan Rogers. You have other number 10s, and you can only play one number 10. The whole idea that because you have him and you have, you have Cole Palmer, so play all of these number 10s, you can't. So finding a system, which is what I know Thomas Tuchel likes. So look at someone like Elliot Anderson, for example, who I know will be playing because, of course, he likes players like that. As to whether he was going to be given the freedom for a Cole Palmer and a Phil Foden at the same time, or even together, even individually. That's the question. So I don't think that it is as nailed on that he will be in the starting 11. Yes, I think he'll go in the squad, obviously, but in the starting 11, we know the types of players that Thomas Tuchel likes.
I'll tell you, you mentioned that there, Barnes. It's interesting, and we generally speaking, we do know the players that Thomas Tuchel likes. Dare I say it, mate, bizarrely or rightly or wrongly, one of the players that he doesn't look as though he likes would be Trent. I mean, I know I was over, I've seen him a couple of times. I saw him in the Manchester City game. He did absolutely fine back in the Real Madrid side. But unless I'm reading the room wrong, I don't think he fancies him. Has he still got a chance of going, do you think, Trent?
I think Trent will have a chance of going, but I don't think he'll start. You see, the thing about it, if you look at Trent, from a right-back position, Trent was Liverpool's creator. He's not going to be a right-back position. He's not going to be England's creator in terms of what England has. And he's not Real Madrid's creator in terms of what Real Madrid have, which is why it's not going well for Real Madrid at this moment in time. So unless you're going to create an environment for Trent to be the playmaker, but then that's not going to happen with England. It happened at Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. It doesn't happen at Real Madrid when they got Vinicius Junior, Mbappe, Bellingham, and all the players, Valverde. And for England, it definitely isn't going to happen. So what he will want from Trent is he has to be a right back who can create now and again, get forward, but to defend. Orthodox defending, coming forward in an orthodox way, going down and putting crosses in. So I suppose because Trent has been used to be playing a particular style of football for Liverpool, which suited him, and it doesn't work for him at Real Madrid. So he may or may not go, but I definitely don't think that he will be his first choice right back, even if he does go.
Yeah. Be interesting to see the game tonight, how intense, how competitive it is. John, just moving it on quickly. Obviously, we've had a week or so now to digest the Mo Salah news that he's finally calling time on his Liverpool career at the end of this season. Your thoughts on how amazing he's been? And also, do you have any ideas, John, on what sort of player, who even a name maybe, that could possibly come in and pick up where he's left off?
Well, he's been incredible, hasn't he? You know, in the last 10 years, he's been one of the best players Liverpool have ever had. In the Premier League, he's up there with Thierry Henry and whoever you want to mention as one of the best players the Premier League has ever seen. I don't think it was a good time for him. I think we should have really got it the end of the season and then he left rather than announcing it now, because I don't think that necessarily helps. It doesn't help Liverpool. Liverpool aren't doing particularly well, so that is a negative. Does that help the manager Arne Slot in terms of the fans loving him and he's not playing, he wants to go? That's not really going to help. In terms of replacements, if you look at what we have, our problem is going forward and scoring goals. I mean, we look at Wirtz and Ekitike and Isak, we've got Ngomoa, we still got Gakpo. I don't feel that we necessarily have to replace him, because I don't think that the solution is to go and get another player to give him £400,000 a week to replace Mo Salah. We have enough strikers, we have enough attackers. Our problem is in midfield and defence. That's really what we have to do. So I don't think we have to go and replace him necessarily. But he's been an incredible footballer for Liverpool, one of the best.
Just a quick one, mate. I mean, it wouldn't be a massive shock, but I'd have to say it'd probably be a surprise. Liverpool knocking out PSG. I mean, PSG look as though they're just kind of hitting form as they did last year, kind of at the right time.
Yeah, they're the favourites. In fact, apart from Liverpool, they're my favourite team in world football.
Yeah.
Because as much as you talk about PSG and they talk about the money they have and they thought they bought this and they bought that, if you look at the players they have in Duan, Barcola and Kvaratskhelia and, you know, the boy, the Ecuadorian at the back, and they haven't bought superstar players. They haven't, you know, spent £100 million on superstars. When they had the superstars, Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, they did nothing. Yeah. So that is a proper team with a proper manager, and the team is the most important thing. So Liverpool will have their work cut out. The danger for Paris Saint-Germain is that when Liverpool turn up, if they do, they can perform with the players they have, you know, Ekitike and Wirtz on their day. And it's a two-off, if you like, but it's a one-off. So while I'll make Paris Saint-Germain the favourites, would I be that surprised if Liverpool knocked them out? No, I won't. But I'll still make PSG the favourites over the two legs.
No, I'm with you on that one. Barnesy, as always, thanks for your time and great to see you, mate.
Thanks, guys.